do make a very good sliding gate. I understand their concerns about, it has to be a sliding gate for trucks and so on, but there are plenty of companies out there that do have a really good sliding gate mechanism for tube steel fences. So I think I personally, with this being on 56 Highway, and I haven't said much about the fact that it's a metal building, but it is in an industrial area for the most part, so I appreciate what you've done with the building, with the masonry. I think I am going to stick to my guns, at least on that front fence being a tube steel fence instead, in lieu of a black powder coated or vinyl coated chain link fence.
Based on previous applications that we've seen and that we've approved, we've had the base level be the black powdered chain link fence, including just north here with our aquatic center is all powdered black. I'm not going to say that I like that the best, but that has kind of been our minimum that we've approved. I would like the tube steel as well, but I'm willing to accept the black powder with that. I would probably like to see the entire fence black powdered all the way around instead of the shadow boxing. I just believe that that's probably going to get tore up over time no matter what you did. Anytime it would be wooden. But those are my thoughts on fencing anyway.
Well, I agree. Go ahead.
I was going to clarify that the site plan that was submitted 2 years ago had chain link all the way around except for the north, since it was a residential, that was wooden. In this case, they are required to have a solid fence screening that tire storage area. Since it's open to the parking lot, that moves all the way around the parking lot and the wood. The exception is that south stretch of fencing, since the building blocks the view of the storage area to the south.
I agree with Commissioner Burnett about the black powder coated fence. I'm okay with that.
For my 2 cents, it does much better now. Well, any of the
building itself.
Any of the industrial properties that are out there right now, gravel and there's no fencing, it's not exactly a pride point for me with our city, because it's a tremendous improvement over what they're in. And quite frankly, like Commissioner Burnett said, black powder coats in our base level. It is an industrial zone, and so I would be happier with the tube steel. I agree, but personally, I can't say that it would be a requirement for moving forward with the site plan for me. I like the shadow boxing, and I like it when I look at it in accordance with the stipulation that staff put into the plan, the overlapping. And so with that, I'm with the shadow boxing, full coverage shadow boxing. And my only questions or concerns really are like Commissioner Pop mentioned, the lighting. I'd like to see all full cutoff down lighting. The fuel storage I did not see mentioned much in this plan, and my questions are really along the lines of safety requirements and best practices around fuel storage, and also the height, what the height would be on that thing. Do we know?
The height, I don't recall off the top of my head. I did have an image of that I meant to include in the presentation, so I apologize that I forgot to put that in there. far as safety regulations go, they will have to comply with all of the building codes and regulations, of course, as far as how that is stored, and then they do have the containment area around that as well. Let me see if I can find that image. You can keep talking. I'll look and see if I can find that image.
It's 6 foot tall.
It's 6 foot tall? Okay.
So it will be lower than the fence. It'll be completely screened by the fencing. Or the fire storage field? No, the fuel.
The fuel
The fuel,
tank.
the fuel tank won't be higher than the fence. Is that correct? The fuel storage is a little taller than the fence. It's about 8 foot tall. Yeah, we submitted pictures of the fuel storage. It's about 8 foot tall. The fence is about 6 foot tall, but the landscaping back there is going to be evergreen, so we adequately screen that from the north side, the residential side.
Here's,
My question on the side to Commissioner Pop was asking, since he's an architect, I was asking, generally speaking, what kind of cost increases, from, the current fence, chain link fencing, as opposed to what he's proposing in advance of the.
look, I know you guys have no problem with black powder coated fence, okay? You know it's our base, okay? But when we're getting ready to set a precedent right here, at this intersection, at this little piece of land right here, we're getting ready to tell everybody else, this is the level of design that we're allowed, that we're gonna go ahead and accept here. Okay? We have the intermodal going in over there. There's gonna be people and trucks and everything else coming back and forth in that area. We have a church across the street, we have the nursing home across the street, we have homes to the north, we have people traveling through there all the time for school, and to me, that if we're gonna start something with this particular area, just to make it look as good as possible, this chain link versus the tube steel is not, it's probably maybe a 30% increase, maybe even less than that, because it's only gonna be 6 feet tall. It's not gonna be 20 feet, it's gonna be 10, and it's not a very long distance. So, I mean, I may not convince you guys, but what I want you to understand is that this development now, since we haven't had any development there except for the convenience store, this is going to be the standard by which we're going to say, okay, this is what everybody else needs to follow. Now, if you're willing to live with that chain link fence there, so be it. You guys can vote with however you want. Me, I want the precedent to be set at this standard here versus our absolute minimum. And I'm very happy with the shadow box. I'm very happy that the applicant did that. That's my.
Okay, so Amy, this is a picture of the fuel storage tank, I believe we're saying.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's 8 feet tall, the tank or the pipes and the platform?
Actually, that thing is a representation.
Okay.
There's a picture here they actually had. It's the tank without the railings on it. There's no railing on top of the pipe.
Is that in here somewhere?
I don't know if you want, this is a replica of the tank, the exact same tank that's installed at it. It's a company of two of them, that's, I don't know if you want to see what they look like.
Is that one that you had before? Keep going down.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Looks like it's the number 5.